In this video, we'll be talking about natal Taurus sun in the 5th house and what this placement means for you if you have it in your chart. And with that being said, what the sun in Taurus shows is that it generally shows somebody that wants to be of value to others, and it shows somebody whose actions are motivated by value or self-worth, either to demonstrate value to others or to acquire more self-worth and success. And that's because Taurus is the sign of value, possessions, talents, and self-worth. So a lot of times people with the sun in Taurus, they want to be seen as capable in the world, and they are quite self-reliant. And they will also at least have one unique talent, which is dependent on the house that the sun is in, which shows more details about their talent. And they also have a good sense of taste or quality. They're highly qualitative people, and they have a lot of integrity and good character traits. And finally, Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is all about value and things that are pleasant. So these people have aesthetic or creative gifts a lot of the time, and that comes from their good sense of quality, and they have like an ability to put together a nice setup of something, or like a nice creation. They're able to organize things or like display things nicely when it comes to their career work, or like when it comes to the things that they do. They just care a lot about quality. And so anyway, Venus is also about clothes, and like it's all about art and valuable possessions. So they can have a passion for those things, or a passion for quality goods. And then finally, money. But also the final thing is that the sun shows how we are seen by others, and it's also the energy that we radiate. So it's kind of like our aura in a sense. And especially when I combine the sun with Taurus, to me this almost always shows somebody that has like a pleasant aura, and that people just find pleasant to be around. And this is not something that they have to try to do when they have the sun. When somebody has the sun in Taurus, they just naturally have a pleasant vibe around them, and they also are quite they're like providers. So they like to bring value to others, and other people find it easy to rely on these people, especially their friends. A lot of your friends will depend on you, benefit from you, or utilize you as like a resource when you have the sun in Taurus, because you just have a lot of worth, and you're pleasant to be around. Now, anyways, in this case, the sun is in the 5th house, and the 5th house is the house of the sun, and it's all about ego. And the sun is at home when it's in the 5th house, and it always shows somebody that wants to be recognized as the best at something. And so when the sun is in the 5th house in Taurus, this shows somebody that is highly ambitious, especially because when the sun is in Taurus, it's in the 10th sign from its own sign, which is Leo. And the 10th house is all about ambition, success, fame, and how we are seen or how we are known by society. So when the sun is here in Taurus, this shows somebody that wants to be the most valuable person, and they have a qualitative ego, because the 5th house is about ego, and since Taurus is about quality and taste, so part of their ego is how they come across to others professionally. Now, next, this placement will show that you want to be seen or validated for your capabilities, especially in a professional sense. And the people that have this placement want their profession and their talents to be seen by the world. And that's because the 5th house is about self-expression, and it's also about being seen and being validated. And a lot of your actions come from a motivation of wanting to be seen and to be validated for that reason, because the sun shows the quality of our actions, or what motivates our actions. Now, finally, the sun shows our confidence, and the fifth house also shows confidence. So for you, your confidence comes from your resources. So this could be your financial resources and the success that you've achieved, but also it comes from your talents and the ability to be of value to other people. So for that reason, these individuals are quite ambitious, and they will also manifest a lot of competitors who see what they have. And generally speaking, you radiate also a lot of worth and success. And so you may manifest a lot of competitors throughout life. And you are also quite competitive because your sun is in the fifth house, and you want to be the number one at what you do, especially when it comes to your profession, and especially when it comes to the quality of your work. And really, somebody with the sun in Taurus in the fifth house will have very high quality work and will receive validation for what they do professionally, because of the connection to the 10th house. And when it comes to your career, nobody can really beat the quality of what it is that you do. And that's because Taurus shows talents, and it shows talents that are intrinsic, things that cannot really be taught. It's just things that come very naturally to you, and usually they manifest due to, in a previous life, you repeated a certain skill or like a certain knowledge until you became a master. So in this life, you're born with the sun in Taurus, or you're born with certain Taurus placements for that reason. So, and there are things that you don't even have to try very hard to be good at, but you probably should try your best, because, you know, talent does not beat hard work. But I feel like these people know this as well, because they're very ambitious, and they also want to receive the number one position when it comes to their actions and to their, especially to their career. So since the sun shows talents, and it's in the fifth house in this case, and there's a connection to the 10th house when the sun is in Taurus, this shows me that one of your talents is your profession. And so these people will be professionally talented. And another thing about this placement is that their main or their biggest talent in life, whatever that may be, becomes a part of their career at some point. And they should if it's not part of your career or of somebody who has this placement, then they should probably, you know, consider turning their talents into part of their career to reach their highest level of success or fulfillment in life. Now, finally, with this placement is that your ego and your confidence and just your aura, as we were discussing at the beginning of the video, where we were talking about how Taurus sun has a pleasant aura without really having to really try or do anything. And that's why they attract sometimes friends a lot. And they don't, it's not for like anything that they try to do. It's just the Venus influence. And, you know, generally Tauruses are more stable people and more practical, more self-reliant. So anyway, people like to depend on them. But as I was trying to say, with this placement, your ego and your confidence will be quite attractive to others due to the pleasant quality of your character, and also due to your ambition or your success sometimes, especially if you are a male. And as somebody that's more spiritual, like, I like to perceive things in a fourth dimensional way, and I'll make a video about what the fourth dimension is. But essentially, in the fourth dimension, the sun in Taurus in the fifth house shows somebody that's like that, whose ego is almost like a monument or like a statue. It doesn't have to be, you know, necessarily large, but what this basically represents is that your ego is kind of like, metaphorically, it's like a statue or like something very impressive when you have the sun in Taurus in the fifth house. And so in love and in romance, people want to possess you a lot, and you know that's due to this attractive quality that you have, which is your sun being in the fifth house. So yeah, that's the final thing I wanted to say about this placement. And to really sum it up in terms of your talents and in a few words, you know, the sun in Taurus in the fifth house shows that your character or your energy stands out. And another thing is that your friends a lot of time need you a lot, or like they would depend on your energy. because you like to be of value to others. And so, people that have a dependency on others, they easily form friendships with you, and you guys get along. And like, your network a lot of times values you, or like they values your success or your fame, because sometimes this placement can show people that are known or famous, especially for their professional success. And so they're a good connection to have in your network. So anyway, that's the last thing that I wanted to say. But with that being said, I hope this video wasn't too scattered, and that basically summarizes what I wanted to talk about for this video. So I hope that you guys enjoyed and that you found this insightful. And if you did enjoy or you found it relatable in any way, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more content. And if you'd like a personalized natal chart reading where I cover all your placements in a video like this, and of course it's going to be private, so only sent to you, then if that interests you, then check the link in the description to my Patreon, where I do a free natal chart reading for each of my Jupiter tier patrons. And also, I have a link to my email in the description, so you can contact me that way as well if that interests you, or if you have more specific inquiries. Other than that, I appreciate you guys watching and supporting in any way that you do, and I will talk to you guys sometime soon in another video. Peace.